Well, good morning, Twitchers and YouTubers alike. Welcome aboard Flying with Mike here in Philadelphia. Yes, the city of brotherly love. So, we are going to head to the city of country, to truckers known as the Guitar, to the rest of the world, home of country music, Nashville, Tennessee. Sitting on stand B3 in the city of brotherly love, we're going to take the A319 on a little journey into the backwoods called Nashville. Actually, Nashville is far from the backwoods anymore. Um, to Nashville, Tennessee, however. So, as you can see, sitting on the line, getting loaded up here. Just finished checking all the passengers in. They'll begin boarding here. So with that in mind, let's get in the office. And yeah, folks, take a look at your clock. We're 2 minutes early. Surprise! Yeah, we actually got out on time today. All right, so let's take a look here in the office and get things rolling. Aircraft, as you can see, is powered up, and we're in the process of getting it ready for the flight. We've checked the batteries. They're up here, pretty easy to find, right smack dab in the middle of the panel. Fuel pumps are currently off while we're fueling. We're on external power, and we have some exterior lighting on. The cabin is set for the starting way I want it to be for the passengers coming on. We'll adjust in flight. So we're to the point where we're ready to do the pre-flight. So first thing I do is come up here to the ADIR, move it over to status. Pick one of the systems. I'll go with one today, and we'll just start lighting them up. ADIR 1. Make sure you get the on-bat. ADIR 2. Yep, it's way over to the left, or to the right, sorry. Again, we're looking for the on-bat, and same with the center one, which is number 3. All right, so they are firing up. In the meantime, after that, we want to make sure. CVR test. Okay, everything's ready there. All of our lights set. Captain purse switch up. Come to the bottom. Strobe lights are on. Nav lights are on. Seatbelts currently off. Turn those on here shortly. Auto for the no smoking, or which could be the electronics on some aircraft. Armed on the emergency seats, and our lights are set as we want. Probe heat, engine ice, wing ice all off. We have not started the APU yet. The external power's on. The batteries are on. When I turn them off, they look like that. Okay, and like I said, our fuel pumps are off. Know you all love hearing that, to make sure we check them. Okay, all 3 are good. Come back down looking for anything turned on. Nothing is. If anything is lit up here, folks, check it out, because they shouldn't be. All right, radios. Coming down to the middle. Everything looks good here. We got 3 green down on that. The brakes, we're not going to worry about, or the brake fan just yet. And we're looking good here. Nose wheel steering and anti-skid on. Transitioning down, the switches are all normal. And go ahead and clear these out, and you can see they're powered up. Radio frequencies set. Now, we do have a couple of neat things here. You can see when you click mech. Okay, and attendant, ATT. All right, giving away a little bit of the flight. Then we just check the rest, that the radar's off, the engine switches are off and in normal. We'll go ahead and turn the transponder to alt. Reports off. Have to look down. Their flaps are up, spoilers down. And finally, Parking brake set. Okay, let's get into here. One thing I do want to make sure, okay, so pack landing elevations right here, straight up is auto, pack flow is low. We'll get into that in a minute. And I have a feeling this switch is airline dependent on what you set it to, not necessarily Airbus dependent. And all right, so we are set and ready to get the McDo's ready. Okay, the McDo is basically a data control unit. Multi is what I'm guessing the M is for. I'm sure someone's going to say nope, but good stab, maybe. Who knows? But anyway, we'll go to the init page and do the init request. It's going to go through two steps. First one, you're going to see the top half loaded with the from to and the alternate. The bottom half right now with the flight number and everything else. Okay. Pretty straightforward there. Now, where things can get, if you want to align on this number, this is the airport's coordinates. If you want to get specific to your gate, by the way, I said it in the beginning, Bravo 3, you can, and I will, bring up charts 3. I'm sorry, charts. Okay. And then look for the chart at the airport you're at that says either parking gates and coordinates or parking gate coordinates. And then it's pretty simple. Look for B1 through 8. So that'll be pretty close to where we're at. And we can now set it to these coordinates. So north 3952.5. You can see to change it, it's the up-down arrows. 5. To do the longitude first, click the line select so the arrows are over there. Okay. 7514.6. Up we go again. Oh, now see, I told you yesterday it does this weird. I'm pushing the down arrow to go up. Oh, well, all fun, folks. Okay, so 7514.6, 3952.5. Now align. And it's aligning on these coordinates. Those of you with the INS know a little bit more about this, is how you actually align right to where you are on the map. And we'll be back to this later in the flight. Okay, now that we're aligning, I'm going to go ahead and include the winds. So I just do a wind request. Now there's a couple ways to do this. You can actually go in and individually request it for each of your fixes down the road, or do a blanket right now. Now I don't know if the real plane can do a blanket like this. Mine can. Okay, and I'm going to come back to the turn and notice. Okay, now is the time I'm bringing some toolkit in, because we have a discrepancy. All right, so here you go, folks. Here is what we're doing today. And I'm going to zoom it a little. We'll look at what's going on near Nashville here shortly. All right, so here's where we are. Here's our information on the runways. We're using 27 left for departure, 2 center for the arrival right now. ATIS, we don't have any, so all we have are the METARs, which is cool. That's, you know, better than nothing, folks. Loadout for the day, 102 people. I've dared to fly with Mike today. Payload of 23,460 pounds, giving us that 0 fuel weight under ZFW. Once we put the 15,699 pounds of go-go juice in the wings, get the ramp weight up there. Okay, now the cruise profile. You can see it right here, folks, maybe. You gotta click here, right here. Notice that's different. So we're going to change that to reflect that. And I don't know why it does that, because even when I go to SimBrief, look at the data, it says 27, and yet it comes up 35. So I don't get it. Real bus drivers, hey, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know why it does that. Okay, this is correct. Initial flight level 320. Do not know how accurate this is. I'm assuming pretty accurate coming from SimBrief, but we're not using the United 18 format, which actually includes that. So we're going to just go with that's what it is. All right, but that's why I wanted to do this now, because of that discrepancy. All right, so that's our flight today. You saw the, or have you? I don't think you have seen the route yet. Let's do that. Here's the routing for today. Again, 27 left, and then you can follow it out to 2 center in the guitar. Not Qatar, guitar. Don't get those two mistakes. You'll be off by about 5,000 miles. All right, so we've got the initialization page A, first page of it done. Up here, we'll go to the B shortly. Let's get the flight plan taken care of. When you do that init request, it brings this up. So you have your entire flight lined up here, to the point where I'm going to go ahead and switch into plan so we can check it. Okay, now I said we're going to bring this chart program back up. Here it comes. And what I'm going to do is start us off right at the starting point and show you where we're at. We're right here, so you can see our taxi coming out to November, Papa to Sierra 1 and out of here. Okay, pretty simple taxi. 27 left. Now, how do I know 27 left? Well, 1, SimBrief, but 2, let's pull up, since we don't have VATSIM controllers at the moment that I'm aware of. Nope. What we can do is go to this website. I mentioned it in yesterday's flight. If you all know an international version of this where we can use it in places like Spain, Slovenia, Germany, Dubai, all of those that have DATIS capability, but we don't have the website to go to. If you know it, please share it here in the chat box, or better yet, down in our Discord. Let me give you the invite since it hasn't had time yet to come up. And folks, let us know. It really helps, believe it or not. 1, in-flight planning, and 2, in-flight, because I can pull it up in flight and see if it changes. And then change the McDo, FMC. You pick your plane. All right, so we go to this website. Okay, in the upper left, click select facility, find and whichever one you're at. And like Philly here has a departure and arrival. Now, I'm not showing this on screen, folks, I know. So you'll see the METAR as this case as a, well, it's not the METAR, it's the actual ATIS on air as of 1654 Zulu. For those not Zulu savvy or Zulu challenge, depending how you want to look at the coin, that's only about 10-15 minutes ago, folks. Winds are 340 at 18, gusts to 29. We got 10 miles of visibility and no ceiling. It's few clouds to 4,800 feet. 30-20. We're departing, and it tells you, it's just what you would hear on the ATIS. Departing, runway 27 left, runway 35, NOTAMs, runway 9, reels out of service, taxi Kilo. Closed between taxiway W and taxiway Kilo 7. Taxiway Yankee closed between taxiway 3 or J and taxiway P. Not bad, huh? Anyway, so you see, departing 27. Guess what? We just come over here, go runway, departure, and we look for our runway. 27 left. Now, the Philadelphia to departure. Let me show it to you. It's all it is straight up and then vectors, folks. So it's really useless to put in. However, we'll just do this. And as you can see, MXE to here, I'll blow it up a little bit. It's hard to see with charts. But MXE up here is our first fix right there. So we'll clear the discontinuity. And we'll fly, you know, to intercept all that good stuff. Anyway, so I just wanted to show those two things here, folks. Now, let me get rid of charts. We'll be back to it here just in a moment when we get to Nashville. Okay, so we're just going to kind of watch. What we did is, remember, we put this in plan, not arc. Plan gives you the routing as you're going, so you can see any discrepancies or discontinuities. Okay. Now, MRB says we have a step climb, and we do. We'll be going from 32,000 to 38,000. It's a hefty step climb, I'm here to tell you. Not really sure why they got cleared that way, but that's how I got cleared. Okay, keep going. And top of descent. And Grote is our last fix here before Nashville. And Nashville then we'll click on. And then I'm going to reach over here and bring it back up. And, oh, we're, I didn't know I was, there we go. All right, so you can see Grote. We're going to want to be, okay, so this will be our Rively, the Paisley 4. You're into country music, you should know that name. If not, shame on you. Again, welcome to the guitar, country capital USA. Paisley 4. And did I put 2 up here yet? No, I did not. Hang on a second. You all get to see how that works. How far of a 27? We're going to go. No, we're not going to do that. All right, so let me just check some things. There's our transition. Grote. Again, using the arrows, go back and forth, and it'll take you through it all. SYI is Shelbyville in Tennessee. Looks like to be about a 27-mile run to Loretta, to Alan Jackson, to Garth Brooks. See what I'm getting here, folks? You get this is the country music capital, and they've put their airport that way. All right, and as if you look here, as it built in, okay, we're vectored off of Zoka? I don't know. It's kind of, let's see if I shorten it up here, if I get it better. Zodka, you're vectored, and then we'll just turn in on Jackson. Okay, so let's do this. Insert. And back at Grote with no And we'll just get Grote up. Parse Paisley. There we go. So, here we come. Grote, Paisley, Carp, Dang, Buddy, Celebrity, Jabin, Dart, Durand, Zodak, Zodka. Now, this manual in Airbus terms means vector. So I'm going to leave it. And then we'll come in at Jackson, to Garth, to the runway. Oop, went the wrong way, folks, sorry. And then our missed approach. Okay. Now, this is our run to Atlanta if we have to do it. We'll leave it as is. Okay, so there you go, folks. That's all planned up. And then we'll come back to ARC, and now it looks familiar. And we'll probably, I'm going to leave it at 20. That's actually a good place for it. All right, that takes care of the flight plan, folks. Now, I could have gone in and put in the way that the routing says to get to Atlanta. I could have put that in. What, coming off our runway, we probably have a departure to the arrival into Atlanta, all of that. I'm not going to worry about it, which I can already hear. That's not how you do it in the Airbus. Well, you know what? I'm also in my pajamas drinking a beer, and you're not doing that in your plane, so there. All right. Wait a minute. I guess some airline uniforms could be pajamas. My bad. And if you've watched the movie Flight, they might have a beer or two up there. Even though Flight was a very fictitious taking of a real incident that occurred. And that's a movie, by the way, with Denzel Washington. All right, so from the flight plan, we now move on to the RadNav page right next to it. Everything is set as I would like it to be set. Next up will be that initial B page. So back to init. Up here you see arrows, so we click the arrows over. Here we're going to check that these match up with our airplane. I think they might change. That's why I like to make sure. So 16.67. Okay, so what I'm going to do, we are actually loaded 0.7, so 116.7 diagonal. We're showing a zero fuel weight center of gravity, the second half of 28.3. 8 tree. Boom. We're blocking out of here with, again, you see it, 15.78. Well, technically, they round up a lot here, folks. 15.8. Although I do like my fuel a little under, but we'll go this route. Nothing really will change over here. All right, so we're set. We're ready to go on the initial B page. So, moving over now to the perf page. Okay, we're in the US, so the transition level is correct. Let's do the uplink. What it's doing is grabbing everything here. Right, and all right, so the all right, so we've got to change a few things. All right, so the weather. Don't think we've seen it yet. This could trigger it. KPHL. All right, so you can see 330 at 18. Let's go ahead and throw that in there. 330 diagonal 18. Also, you could go to D8 grab it off there. One thing you will get on D8 is runway conditions, meaning the runway condition matrix that's out there. And they'll put that out there, and you can look at your charts. There was actually in a video we watched at the airport on how you set this up, how in the Airbus they can actually go in, I think, and plug these numbers in. I mean, it was unreal. They didn't show it in the 737s. Sorry, folks, they did not. But it was really interesting to me to watch that part, how it interacts with, how the pilots take that matrix and stick it into the plane, because this matrix was made to help them landing on runways, iced over, snowed over, whatever. And if you're all familiar, a few years ago, actually quite a few years ago now, Chicago had a really bad incident with Southwest Airlines overrunning one of the runways at Midway. Why? A couple of reasons. Why? They were too fast on landing, didn't account for anything or a missed approach, and ran off the end of the runway. They're all short runways there, folks. Quite legal for them, but very short, and they should have been on their game better. Hindsight can say that. In the plane, I don't know what was going through their minds. But anyway, that's where all of this began to come, to give the pilots a better idea of what they're coming on to. So, and once you have this, now if you want to flex the takeoff, you click here. If you want to go toga, you don't do it. So, debating. Well, you can come down. Now, I've got this up here. One, we used it to verify. Well, we can also go here. 1F. That means flaps 1 plus your... Flaps 1 is basically slats only and a little bit of flap in the back side of the wing. So now you can determine, do you want toga thrust? Right now, the configuration you're seeing here is to flex, which means instead of running at 100+% power on the engines, yes, you heard me say it right. How can you go more than 100%? Folks, you can. Okay, I'm just telling you, the engines are capable. And I can already hear the engineer. Well, you can't go faster than 100. Yeah, you can. Flex temperature pulls that engine back on power a little, basically saving the wear and tear on the parts so that they can, the engine doesn't have to necessarily have the scheduled maintenance beforehand. So that's why they flex a lot of time. Although I don't know the parameters of when you have to toga versus you're allowed to flex. But today being a decent day here, you know what? We're going to flex it. So we'll go here. And here it's saying we're going to do 72 degrees. Here, 71. And the V temp is all pretty much the same. So that's what we'll do. And insert. And then you'll see your V speeds were the same. Transition the same. Now, we could update these, and I'm going to go ahead and try. I don't know if he's done Philly. That's why I'm going to look first. It does not appear so. Do not blame him at all. But he has done a few, and it's what I'm talking about is black box. He's done quite a bit of the U.S. airports, but he missed Philly, which is fine. Nothing wrong with missing Philly. Trust me on this one. Although I know someone where I work might be a little upset with that comment, but Philly could just kind of slide away, along with a few other cities, and the world would be a better place. But anyway, that's another story when we do politics, which, oh, by the way, we don't. So, anyway, so we'll leave them default. Flaps 1 up on the the horizontal stabilizer by 0.5. Pretty simple stuff. The only bad thing here is it doesn't show length of runway. However, ToLis does. Let's come over here to the takeoff performance, 27 left. We're not doing an intersection. They got it 338 at 15. Okay, that's fine. 6, 3020, that's good. Dry. They're going off. I'm going to go ahead and put the wing on. Oh, no, we'll go off. And there you go. And we're flexing compute. 134, 134, 136 up. Same stuff. Green dot will be 205 and 72 degrees, all matching. What it does show is where we are on the runway at V1 max and approaching V1. So it gives you an idea how much of that runway you really do have. It's a nice thing that ToLis had. I like it. And the landing perf right up here, same thing. You also have checklists if you want to use it here. I don't. I have a concise checklist, does a good job that I'm running on the side here. But that, folks, right there, other than if you know how to set up a secondary flight plan, it's not hard. I've done it once, maybe twice. I don't take the time, folks, sorry. So all we have left now is the pushback and start, and we're ready to go. All right, so pushback and start. First thing, start up the Acres program. Reason I say that, folks, you don't know how many flights I've forgotten to do this. And of course, if you're with a VA, it doesn't count then. All right, stand. Okay, they show us B2. You know, B2, B3. Hey, whatever. Well, that was very rude of that airport rampy. All right, so there you go. Let's get in here and start buttoning it up. ToLis. You know what? Instead of doing it this way. Okay, so you can see the chocks. You can't see the GPU. And you can see the jetway still tied up to us. And yeah, through there you can see the door. That kind of looks like our airport, folks. That's the way our jetways. Rarely does the curtain on some of them come over. But anyway, pretty cool. All right, so let's get back into cockpit here. And let's use some of this fancy stuff they gave us. Shall we? Let's go in here. Wait, we're going to first have to do something. Start the APU. Be a good thing. Nice way to save fuel, too. Waiting for flap open. So once we get that, we'll head back up and start it. Okay, now we know the flap's open. Start. I almost did it, folks. I almost clicked external power not being on the APU. And that would have shut the airplane. Well, it would have just gone on battery. And, yeah. So, we'll head back down here, see how the engine's doing. We're through 40%. That's not bad. Building up to 100. All right, we are now at 100%. Flaps open, and we've got that. We'll head up top. Maybe. All right, and we'll turn the bleed valve on. Pack valve should go out, and Now we come off external power. That click is it switching on to the APU power. Now we'll do this. Now I'm taking this angle so you can watch up here. Okay, we're going to go to the mechanical button. First, kill the external power. And put our cargo doors in auto. See, they just went out, meaning they are closed. Okay. Main door should be closing pretty quick. Oh. All right, you can see I can also arm doors and cross-check. We'll do that in the pushback. All right, let's get up here. We're ready to go. Let's get better pushback on its way. Can be quite...
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
Can be quite comical sometimes with it.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
All right, now you saw this is a pretty complicated pushback. It really isn't. We're just a long way out to the taxi. All right, this one wasn't too funny. He'll go into the building, though. All right, let's get rid of the jetway. And the chocks.
All right, looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
Okay, let's do our final checks then. Altimeters are set, 3020. Hang on a second, let me move up here. All right, LS and constraints, LS and constraints. They're set. Arc, we'll keep it at 20 on this side, 40 on the other. Heading and speed are managed. We just need to get our altitude in. I'm going to go ahead and run it up until I hear differently.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's connected, bypass bends inserted. Go and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
Okay. All right, and let's see, altitude is now set. Anti-skid nose wheel steering on. Transponder switching panels are normal. Transponder a little further. There we go. We'll go above, down below. Okay, and set there. Beacons.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
You know, it's been a while since we've had this guy pushing us back, so. should be turning us here soon. There he goes. Yeah, we got a little ways to go, folks. Nice, long taxi back. So, but folks, I hope you're having a good week. We have reached hump day, folks, middle of the week. After today, weekend's ahead of us. So I hope you all have a great day. Hope all is well with you, and look forward to seeing you Friday on our flight that day. If you're new to the channel, hit follow. That's how you can find out when we're streaming again. YouTubers, just go to our Discord channel. The link is in the description below, and you'll see the flight schedule. Love to have you aboard. Love to see the YouTubers that watch the replay of this when we go live. So, and by the way, it costs you nothing, folks. Just an email to follow the channel on Twitch. All right, we're getting close to where I'm going to start the engines up here. I'd really like to know or watch how they do this in Philly for real. Do they push them all the way back? I know at one of the terminals many years ago, they did indeed push them back to the taxiway. But that does limit the aircraft ability to come in at the same time. So unless it's scheduled in such a way that doesn't happen. All right, we're to that point. Okay, again, the beacon's already on. So what we're going to do, move the ignition switch here to ignition, start, I think it says, and then we're going to start engine number 2. That's it, folks. Not a whole complicated mess to get it going. All right, there we got light off, and you can see the dials starting to spin up, especially the EGT. Pressure's coming up on the engine, and vibration as well. Okay, and at a veil, we're cleared to start up the other engine. See where we are in the pushback. It's done. So let's get it going.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Okay, and once engine 1 is fired up, we can start the 3-minute timer to make sure we're all warmed up and everything's good to go, folks. And goes the engine.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the left. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
Okay, there's a veil. Starting the chrono. And before we go any further, let's make sure we got the pins. Perfect. Okay, give them the nice flash that we did see the pins. All right, continuing. All right, so we come up to the top. APU bleed off. Down to the bottom. Ground spoilers on. Flaps uno. 2 minutes. Let me verify. Flaps 1F. All right, pitch trim set. Okay, we'll go to this gauge. We'll bring this up. We need to be up. So it needs to say up 0.5. Okay. So we just make the pitch trim read that. Okay, see it's up 0.5. I bring it out for eyes like mine that are a little on the older side. Need a little magnification. Okay, and wing and anti-ice we're not needing. Okay, we'll go up here, get the master switch off. Lights are set. Lapse time, let's get that running now. Okay, and then you see we need to do the auto brake. And we need to get the cabin confirmed. All we do is come up to the overhead, click one of them. And now you see it's ready to go. Takeoff config is good. We are almost to 3 minutes. Okay, so flight controls, let's check those. Okay, and do a freedom of movement real quick. Okay, and deselect that, and nav climb's good, and pressure's ready, terrain radar on, and takeoff config, and we're ready to go. Before takeoff, go to TARA, and we are ready to taxi, folks. Okay. All right, we're almost to the runway here, folks. All right, let's go ahead and get that brake fan on. Now, what this area is, and I'm going to kind of pull up here a little, not stopping long at all. These spots that you see delineated here with grass in between, this is where they de-ice. And they can put however many spots there are, load them up, de-ice, and out to the runway. They can go either onto the taxiway down to here, or like near the end, right out onto it. So, hang on a second, let me see if we have ATC. We do not. Philadelphia traffic, American 1984 departing, 27 left. Okay, now one thing. Get on the runway, set the brakes up. Okay. Now you can leave them in auto. I like to go to on, just so I know they're on, get the lights all up and on. And we're ready to go. Takeoff checks one more time. Brake temps, engine mode is set. Turn off all lights are on, and chronos start. Here we go, folks. Brakes take me to 50%. Okay, and I can go ahead, kick the autopilot on, and she'll put us on course. Ground spoilers down. As soon as we clear S speed, I'll bring the flaps up. There you go, folks. We're on our way. Okay, and then we'll intercept the line, the green line, and head for what is it? It's not Modesta, is it? Medina. And then we'll start joining the airways. Get a better look here as we're pulling out of Philly. I will say, over the different updates that X-Plane has done since I started with X-Plane 12 late last year, the clouds have really improved, looking a whole lot better. I think it's default, folks. If you're looking for them to look exact, you're going to need to buy paper. I don't care what sim you're in. But for a default, you know, generic sim, they look phenomenal. Still waiting. It's going to be not too long. Start flying in the southeast, down south, into the Texas area. See the severe storms, how they're gonna look on here. I've gotten some looks at them in other places in the world. Waiting to see, because now granted, I used Active Sky one day, and the thunderstorms that were around the plane headed to Charlotte were to like 45,000 feet, and by golly, the thunderstorms were from the ground all the way. You had a massive cloud. Now that could do some frame rate hurting, so that's why default weather is the way default weather is. So who knows? And it did degrade my system a little bit too, with that much showing. So, but it was cool. So. There we go. We're over Medina right now. I have a feeling, because I see us making the turn through 10,000 feet. So let's get the lights off. Let them know in the back, and on we go, folks. I hope you all enjoy the flight. Let me see if I can get the overlay in. There it is. And that way you all can see just how long it is from here to there. Okay, so still no centers alive at the moment. Seeing if we have any along the way. Right, there's 18,000, folks. Go to standard on the barometers, and we're on our way. Now, from what I understand, and you guys in the real air buses can really help me out, I do not know how to use these things. I believe they're part of the ACARS system, which right now would be pretty useless to use because there's no ATC. But it would allow me to communicate with them, and I'm looking forward for some documentation, something to help me learn how to use this in combination with these, the McDoos. So ToLis has really put together some fabulous aircraft, folks. I can't speak for the A321, but I've heard it is just like this plane. Possibly where a lot of the A321 has a lot of this stuff already in it, and now they're bringing the A319 up, which means the A340-600 they have probably does this too. So yeah, phenomenal stuff. ToLis is the PMDG, I'm going to say, in X-plane, right in a close net connect. Second would be Zibo behind them. They got some things to do with the FMC, but you know what, folks, those two, that company and Zibo, which isn't a company, it's a name of the aircraft, but they have put together a phenomenal 737-800. So you're looking at the two big, you know, if you're looking for PMDG quality, Zibo and ToLis are the X-plane version of that. And I'm going to give the nod to ToLis being the closer to it than Zibo. Although, folks, you fly it, you'll go, oh my God, this is just like the 737. Yeah. Minus a couple things, but they have a couple things PMDG doesn't have. So, balance it out. We're on our way. Flirt is next, then Hyper, then oh, excuse me, folks, did not mean to yawn in your ears there. Martinsburg after that. So all right, so we'll just keep trucking on up. We're at 25,000. And then we're going to begin to talk about what we kind of saw in Sim Toolkit in the beginning and what lay ahead as we get closer to Nashville. There we go. I was trying to find it. Like, where is it? All right, right below us, folks. We're getting ready to cross Susquehanna River. York will be coming up. Off to the north of the nose there is pretty close to Elizabethtown, where my folks live. Harrisburg, a little further north up. the river. So give you a little lay of the land for those of you from the PA country. Also, a little incident occurred back in the late 70s, early 80s. 3 Mile Island is right in this area. However, I don't think it's modeled. I never, you know what? I need to do some low-level flying here one day just to see if it's there. We're getting tossed pretty good up here, folks. Actually, that might be 3 Mile Island right there. They may have modeled it. Huh. I think that's potentially Middletown Airport. Otherwise, where if you fly into Harrisburg, where you go. There's our turn at Clerk. Time to see what all we can see. Huh. Pretty nice. Again, the fair weather cloudiness looking a lot better today than way back in late last year as they were tweaking it up. Yeah, they've done a really good job with it. Well, I'm not seeing any air vents out there along our route, so turbulence shouldn't be that bad, but we do have a jet stream that we are going to cross here shortly around Martinsburg, maybe a little past it, that could get a little bumpy as we go through it. So, all right, so we are leveling off at 32,000. Set for 32, yep. Alrighty, so see where the map has us at. That way y'all that are familiar with this cherry tree can kind of get a feel for where you are. In cruise. I think we're stable enough for now. Let's do a quick system check here, and then we'll take a look. Wow, I'm glad I looked real quick. We are just about balanced. Close enough. All right, let's now look into what's ahead. You can see it right here, the starts of it. Now, it loaded yesterday, so we'll see if it'll load today. All right, it's not. All right, that's fine. Give it a couple seconds here. Oh wow, it's not wanting to load the weather here either. All right, well anyway, we got, oh, here it comes. So let me just kind of pan out. You'll get an idea. So we're headed here, folks. All of this, I think, is going to pass under us. May not, but we still have to deal with what's up here. So by the time we get there, it could be, well, we'll see. Weather in the flight sim could always be a little different than what you see outside, depending on when the information is derived. Just see if it's just a long, delayed, drawn-out process here. But we're about an hour and 15 minutes out, so folks, now would be a good time to take a break if you want. Grab a restroom break, some coffee, or beverage of choice. And we'll see you back here shortly for the arrival. It looks like the live map is still having some issues. Oops, sorry about that. Didn't realize my microphone had dropped like it did. All right, I'm just on a headset, folks, so that's why. I want to again say thank you for flying with Mike today. We'll be in Nashville, looks like in about an hour or so. So we'll be coming up on that storm system here pretty quick. So let's kind of take a look into what our arrival will look like as we get in there. And for that, we use the charts program yet again. And I kind of like it in this format. Now, I know a lot of you are going, well, that's not the high en route chart. You're right, it's not. But it kind of gives you an idea of what you're flying over. Now, of course, once you get into the Midwest, folks, it's flat, it's boring. It is what it is. Welcome to the United States. Depends which coast you're on, where all the mountains and all are. But in the middle, it's pretty flat except for Arkansas and a couple of areas like that. So, but anyway, let's get this opened up here and let's take a look again at the arrival we have planned. Maybe. There it is. And it is the Paisley 3, or Paisley 4, sorry, all runways there in Nashville. So the chart's pretty simple to read, actually. Up here in the corner, it tells you your D-ATIS, which again, you know the website if you saved it. Go there, check to see. As we do not have any centers, now is a good reason to use it. And find out what is going on there. Let's do one thing here, though. Hang on, I did forget to do one thing. So let me bring up the weather so you can see that there in the chat room. All right. So you can see the winds are 050 at 14. So how it reads, folks, is you've got KBNA, that's the ICAO International Civil Aviation Organization. The time today is the 8th, so the 08, and then the time in Zulu challenged. If you live in the central part of the United States, -6 from that. 11:53. Next week, it gets a little harder, but it is -5. But still, it's not as easy as just look to the other side of the clock. So winds 050, 14 knots, gusting to 19. It's actually not too bad yet on the winds. And we got 10 statute miles of visibility, few clouds at 8,500. Broken, which is a ceiling at 14,000, 19,000, and 25,000 overcast. Temperature 14 degrees. No, folks, it's actually 14 degrees Celsius, so pretty close to about 65, 66 degrees. And there's our altimeter setting, or barometer. The rest of this is just some scientific information that even I'm not 100% sure on, so we don't get into it. So that's the METAR, what they call the meteorological weather for the site. But if you go to that D-ATIS site, it'll actually give you what it's physically doing what they're calling over the ATIS, which updates also every hour, or quicker than the METAR if weather starts moving in like it's about to there. And it will include, where the METAR won't, what the runways are like in braking action. So for now, I pulled it up at 17:53. So again, half hour or so ago, 06014 at that point, 10 miles, same clouds and such. They're using to center for the landings with visual approaches, departing to right. Tells you the clearance, all of that, other. Now, if it's raining there, it'll also put in RCAM 555, 444, 4543, 21 hut. Anyway, but yeah, it'll show that on there. And then we take that and put that into our landing data. So we know, hey, we're going to be a little slippery here. All right, so get that back to here. So that's what DATIS is all about. So then continuing on, we see that the any altitudes like this under 23,000, 20 to 12, all of those are in inches of mercury, not like Europe, which is in what's called millibars, HEPA. And we can switch to that, by the way. Inches of mercury, and over on this side is HEPA. So we just turn the switch base over and it'll flip into that. Okay, tells you your requirements, which all of this we met. We are a turbojet. And so forth. Okay, so now it is an RNAV approach, meaning we're flying fixes. We're not able to run it like the older aircraft where they just had the VORs and the NDBs to navigate on. We are navigating with the FMC, or McDo is what Airbus calls it. All right, so we're going to come into Grote. Still a little ways out. There we need to be below 23,000 feet. So we'll be starting our descent a little further back to meet that. Paisley between 20,000 and 12,000. Carp above 10,000. Body between 12,000 and 7,000. And at 250 knots. Reason sometimes you see that, folks, say we are 11,000 feet at that point. Well, technically, without that delineation there of at 250, we could be at 300 knots. They want us at 250 early. So from 12,000 down at this point, body, they want us at 250. Now, if we're below it, say we're at 8,000, at 250 still. And then we work our way to Celebrity. Again, maintain 250. They want you keeping that speed up for a little bit. Above 6,000 through J-Bun. Then we turn and head south to Zodka. Now there they want us at 210 as we fly out to begin to turn for the visual, and then we'll slow for the arrival. But at Zodka, be at 5,000 feet. That is at 5,000. This isn't above or below, it's at. Okay? And then over here are the directions written out for those that need it written out. Some people go better with writing than they do pictures. Who knows? All right, now down below here, you can see I don't have my runway yet. That's because I have, you can do it one of two ways, folks. You can come in here and select it. Whoops. Or approaches available right here, I can click select. And it's going to show them all. Well, we're going to plant, we could do the RNAV for 2 center. Interesting thought. I didn't even think about that. Let's see what it looks like. I just might. Yeah, pretty simple. Matter of fact, we're going to do the RNAV. What the heck? I think I set up for the ILS. RNAV Zulu. So basically, as you see it on the chart there, folks, we come off Zodka, 5,000 feet. Ivud, Veal. We're going into EGECA and right on in. Now, this is going to be, I think, a tight approach. Yeah, we're going to be 4 miles out. So we'll be at 1,900 feet with a 3-degree descent. Minimums are a lot different on here. But overall, we have just under 300 feet for our AGL. So we're about 100 feet higher than what an ILS would have. So that's what we're going to shoot. Let's look at it, though, real quick, and then we'll reprogram the McDo for it. Nothing hard. Here we go. Let me hide this. All right. So again, there's our D-ATIS and what we can tune the radio to for it. Nashville approach, tower ground. Now, this is where your localizer would go in if this was an ILS, but it's not. It's an RNAV. So we're just flying points to points to points to points. Approach course still 021. EGECA, we got to be at 1900 feet. And our decision altitude and height, they're both going to be approximately 295 feet above the ground. The reason this doesn't say that is it's what it's going to say on your altimeter. Add that to this number, folks, it's going to be very close to your touchdown zone. Add 295 to it, and you're going to get pretty close to 280 or 882. That's what the altitude will read here. There'll be a altitude box. I'm not sure if it's here or over here, but it'll tell you. Actually, I need to turn that off. Above the ground, radar altimeter. Let me kill it over here. Oops. All right. Now, this approach straight away, it looks like, to Herky. And hold at 4,000. And then once ATC regroups, they'll route us back in. Oh, I hate when it won't come on. There it goes. Being a pain, folks, sorry. Alright, so again, visually, see the course we're going to take from 5,000 to 1,900. So we'll be in a nice, slow descending, slowing down state. Here's our 1,900 to the runway. Glide path, we're going to probably be right here, so figure 700 to 710 feet a minute on our descent. Minimums with an RNIP of 0.15, that will actually show down here. We can come down to 882 feet. At that point, if we don't see the runway, again, that's in the yellow here. We have to go around. It's actually, or it'll read 295 in your radar altimeter box. RVR has to be above 24 or above a half mile. So far, so good, folks. We're good on that. So, and then this is if we start losing approach lights, what have you. And we're going to have a Mauser, however, no PAPI. So we're not going to have a visual cue when we're coming in. We're going to be doing this on our own. We'll either have the glide slope indication here, or we're going to be visually bringing it in. And that's our charting for this, folks. Now, let me punch us back to the plane. As we approach, I believe, Charleston is what we're going over. So let's get the McDo up here real quick. I'm going to keep that chart. Make sure it loads right. Doing RNAV Zulu. Okay. RNAV 2C Zulu. Okay, now you saw we filled in a via. If you were in the beginning, you didn't see that. Now we're all filled in. And let's back up. Okay, Grove Paisley. All of this stays the same. Okay, there's Zodak. 5,210. Viewed. BUYUL. 1900. Okay. There you go, folks. It's all programmed in. Again, here's our hold if we have to do that. And then again, here is how we get to, I could just simply do this. Departure to center. Execute. Clear. And I don't know what Atlanta's landing. Here, we'll put it in. Okay, currently for us, if we had to go to Atlanta, 8 left visuals, 8 right. I'm sorry, 9 right, 8 left. So what I could do is click Atlanta, arrivals, 8 left, okay. Chipper. Okay, hang on, I'll show you what we could do here. Now we'll go back, click here, 8 left, let's do, and let's look at the chipper real quick. See how quick this chart works? Here's chipper. Let's see if Braxton's on that. Nope. So we're just going to insert. Next. It shot us that way. Alright, so what I'll do is clear the manual, clear discontinuity, insert, and there you go, folks. We're lined up all the way to, and of course after it would be the missed approach. Pretty intense how far into this thing will go. Alright, so back to where we are there. We'll hide that and hide this and let you all enjoy for another few minutes we have. What's left? 134, so about 60 miles. We'll start plugging in our data for the arrival, and should be able to get in with no trouble. Let's see where we are. All right, we're starting to get into the initial weather to this system right now in the middle of the country. So that's what you're seeing out ahead of us. All right, folks, as we got just a couple minutes here, I saw that the verse of the day came up. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forevermore. The psalmist there put together a couple of verses. Or granted, it's more, there's more of it in Psalms 121. But the Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. When I read that, folks, it really is great to hear that if I follow the Lord Jesus Christ, He will keep me from all evil. That is, doing evil. And unless I don't walk with Him, He'll keep me away from evil. And then He will keep my life. He has my life all the time, folks. That is so comforting sometimes in this world we live in, just to know God's got your back. And He's always there, folks. You have to keep God forefront in your life. Keep Jesus as your way. And then the Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forevermore. It's a great psalm, and a great couple of verses out of that psalm that would help me at least get through some of the challenges I run into with the work I do. So I'm thankful that the Lord is always there, and I hope you are too, folks. And take the time to learn to read the Bible. It's an amazing document the Lord has given us to really learn how to live our lives, and follow that document, folks. It's amazing. You look at it, you go, my God, this was written 4,000, 5,000 years ago. If we would have just followed it. Wow. Leviticus is one of the toughest books to read, but you just shake your head going, if you can read it, folks. And it's not hard to read, it's just because it's law. Very, here's the thous and therefores and all of that. And I'm not talking King James, I'm talking legalese. You just sit there and you shake your head going, wow. Especially the dietary part, folks. When you hit that part, just shake your head going, wow. Do we have it all wrong as man? If we just follow God, He keeps you from all evil and keeps your life. It's amazing, folks. David had it right. We have it wrong. God has it right. We need to follow God. Hope you have a great day. God bless you. All right, looking up here, I see Fort Worth online for us. And I see we're about 100 miles out. So what I'd like to do, let's head over to the EFB. It's kind of tough to figure out where you are here, folks. If you're good at that, man, give yourself a star, 10 stars. Oh, now you can figure out where you are. But yeah, we're over western or eastern Kentucky, so we're going to come up here to landing performance. Let's see how close to the real world, folks. If you're on SkyVector, you can look at this too and see how close the weather report is there. So we're 050 at 14. That's pretty close. This is as of 17:53, so it's going to be updating here shortly. 14 and 14, 30, 32. Hey, that's pretty good, folks. I'm going to go ahead and go on engines because we could be landing into some rain. Now, right now, it should be dry, but we'll see how that goes. What are we on runway-wise? 8,000-foot runway. Okay. All right, now when I can, I can do it this way. This will tell me the margin that I have. So about half the runway, roughly. Let's click it to low. It's moving us down a little bit. I kind of like that. So we're going to go low on the braking. Reason being, let me pull up the chart real quick. Okay. We're going to be heading right about here into terminal. That's not what I'm worried about. Okay, here's our runway. We're going to be landing right about where the windsock is. And S3, S5 is about 2/3-ish down the runway. You like that ish? So our braking margin should put us about right with S3 to S5. And that way we don't have to throw the passengers into the seats 2 and 3 rows ahead of them. So, and again, look, it's showing the METAR here. That's as of 7. That's the same one we're working with. So, like I said, should be updating here real soon. Let me pull that away so you can see that. Okay, so again, you can see where we're gonna, if we go low, where it puts us. Here's the METAR, by the way. And all that we need to know, 128 and so forth. Okay. All right, we should be, well, we're under a, yeah, we're 79 out, so let's go ahead, go to next phase, and start filling this in. Now for the QNH. Okay, now QNH a lot of times means you put in like 1002, 1012. Well, that's everywhere but pretty much the US. Let me see if we've updated yet. We have not. Okay, so we'll have to go with this. So what we'll do is we'll put in, okay, as the METAR reads, there's your winds, 050 at 14, they go here. So 050/14. Okay, reading on. 10 miles, there's our clouds, overcast, temperature 14. You could also look up here. Then again, next is A3032. 30.32. The 30.32 is how we want to put it in. So 30.32. Boom. Transition level is flight level 18,000, folks, anywhere in the North America. 99 out of 100% chance it's gonna be 18,000. There's a couple of islands and maybe a country or two, Central America, that will change, but overall 18,000, yielding us a V approach of 127. Now they're calling it 128 here. One knot, I am not quibbling over, and our landing speed should be 122. All right, and that's all we have to do at the moment. Now, let's say ATC comes up and changes things, okay? Say, not to say they changed it, but say the weather's changed and the thunderstorms are there. This will change. You can re-input this, folks. Now, the one thing I did not put in, did you notice? MDA and DH. Okay. Back out again. Find our runway. All right. I like using it from up here. Okay, bold. How I do this, folks, that's your mean sea level. So that's above mean sea level. Or, in the parentheses, above ground level. So, M mean sea level. So I put 882 if I wanted there. You can only put one of them in. If you put 882 here, then turn around and put 295, it'll go away. I'm going to go 890. Oh, 882. And now we're fully set. That just told the avionics systems when I reach 882 feet MSL on the altimeter, which is right here, minimums. Tell the pilot minimums. Also, the guy in the right seat, or not flying, is supposed to tell you that too. But he's not here. He decided to take the day off. I'm doing it by myself. I can hear you real world guys going, no, they don't. So, all right, so we're very close to the arrival, folks. Let's just make sure. Beasley. Perfect. Okay, let's hit perf. 53 miles out. All right, there you go, folks. Again, we're going to aim for gate C8 once we come off the runway. All right, but we have some check items to get to. While we're here, let's do another system check. Usually about every 30 minutes or so you want to do them. A little remiss, I know. It's just clicking that all button. Okay, I think it's getting a little warm in the cockpit up here, so we're going to cool it down a little. And if I was to turn this to the condition page, you'd see the temperature is beginning to lower here. Now we're down to 70, 69, while the rest of the plane is at around 72. Now if I have passengers saying, it's just too cold back here, it's way too cold, then I can kick it up for them as well, depending where they are. Could you really turn the temperature up? It's just too cold back here. Okay, we're coming over Yaqui, getting ready to head to Grote. And you know, you remember we had to be below 23,000. This says okay, at or below 23 is good. So see, the clouds are beginning to thicken up, folks. All right, so let's pull charts away and get ready for the descent. All right, landing elevation. It's not saying what I wanted to. I forgot to release that. All right, you can see it right here. Landing elevation, auto. Okay, McDo is set, perf is set, winds are set. And here's how you could do it, folks. Like, remember I told you could come in here. Wait a minute, wrong one. Which one was it? Oh, I think I clicked the wrong side. Well, anyway, there is another way to get your winds to update in here than blanket at the beginning. Like I said, I need a lot of help and schooling on how that awning, that machine, folks, that control data unit is unreal. Okay, I'm showing us about 20 miles to top of descent. Let's see. I'm gonna set 12,000. Now y'all are going, wait a minute, you just gotta be 23 or lower. Well, correct, but 12,000 is lower than 23. When we get to 10, I'm going to go ahead and start our descent. All you do is either push, which is what the 1 dot is, or pull, which is what the 2 dots are, how you want to descend. Pushing it puts it in a managed, where the aircraft onboard systems chew up the data from winds and all of that and spit out, okay, this is what it's going to take to get to 12,000, taking into account any restrictions within your flight plan that you programmed. And then we'll reset after that to 6,000 with correction at Celebrity. All right, there's 10. And you're in a managed descent, it'll say it here, and you'll see the dot here. Open will say open descent up here, and that's if you pull it, and then you set the angle of descent. And now the airplane will control it. Now you'll know you're on that desired path when this is actually a green dot up here, is in between these yellow lines. All right, time to start putting the peeps in their chairs. All right, let's see if the weather is still the same. All right, we have had a weather change. Let's get over here and see if it's showing up. All right, now 3030. 15. Wind 030 at 7. Okay, you see how that changed, pushed us a little bit up. Okay. Okay, so that looks good there. Well, let's get to the middle here while we're descending. Also making sure we hit our points next phase. 30. Right. 030. Yep. 15, I think was what we said temperature. Yep. See, we can change this, and this will be reflective more on our landing. So there. This doesn't change, and it didn't change any numbers down here. But what it did do is allow the airplane to be able to compensate for what's reported right now. Let me hop over to the ATIS and see what we got. The sad thing is, more than likely, I won't be able to bring the ATIS up. It never wants to work. I don't know what that magical setting is. But, oh, there we go. All right, clouds are starting to bog us down. Not really. It's just kind of the way it is, I guess. And like most flight sim weather folks, can't get around this. Okay, now remember what I told you early on? There's that green dot. See how it's right in between? We're getting into that descent profile that I was telling you. All right, so and we won't really have anything on the rad nav to look at because we're an RNAV approach, so there won't be an ILS frequency here to back us up. Now, when do I click activate or activate approach phase? When I take over the speeds. Okay, so probably somewhere as I look at the charting, body to celebrity, somewhere in there. All it's going to do, if you are not controlling the speed, folks, it's going to slow you to what's called F speed, which is in and around 140 to 150 knots. You're going to drag that all the way. Not cool. So when you control the speed, it will hold it there. Because for sure we'll be controlling it at Zodka, because we'll be at 210. Okay, we wrote at 23,000, heading now for 12,000, which is the bottom end of Paisley, top end of Body. So, you know, we're getting closer and closer to that sweet speed. As long as that green dot is in the middle, folks, we're descending at the way the aircraft should be. So, and we're just being tossed about because of weather. Interesting. I was looking at the charts. None of them show the weather activity out here in the Midwest. That's interesting. Right now it looks like we'll be at 12,000 at Carp, which means we'll be able to set, once we pass Paisley, I'll set it to 7,000 to start getting us into that lineup to get us to 5,000 at Zodka, however you want to say it. Probably Zodka. Yep, that shield of water, folks. Looks like on Similware, just west of Nashville City proper. So if you're in Fort Campbell, Clarksville, Hopkinsville area, yeah, you're getting wet. So, right, we're below 18,000. 3020, I believe, was our altimeter. 3030. Okay. All right, so we are coming up on 16,000, folks, so we're very close. Okay, there's Paisley. So now I could set 7,000. Which is what we need to be at BODI. BODDY. And 250. So we'll see if we'll slow here. Then after BODI, I'll set 6,000 and then 5,000 after J-Buck. Okay, so we're in the parameters now for BODI. Okay, so let's get up here, get the lights on. And we are now getting close. Kind of ease on down to J-Bun at 6,000 and above. All right, let's get LS on. Landing. Constraints. Again, we're not going to get much out of it this time, folks, because, well, we're not shooting a instrument landing system approach, or ILS. We're shooting an RNAV. However, the two are the same. We should get data, but we're not just because of that. Okay, Nashville is up in the distance. Downwind soon. Uh-oh, cold and rainy, snowy. Oh, no, we don't want to hear that there, downwind. Didn't you check your calendar? It's March. Oh, that stinks to hear that. Well, thanks for coming in during your lunch there, Downwind. Glad I caught you there. I don't look a lot, as you know, 75 and sunny. And exactly. We don't want to hear any of that snowiness. All right, let's drop to 5,000. All right, now we're headed to Zadka. And then we'll set up for the literally visual into here, but it is the RNAV we're set up for. Okay, let's get on down to 5,000 here. And we'll do our thing. Now, technically at 230 knots, folks, I could deploy flaps 1. I'm gonna hold, but I am gonna set low on the brakes. Get the brake fans on, even though they don't turn on till the gear is out. Then I'm going to go ahead and activate approach. Down to 19. Okay, go ahead and start getting the gear down. About ready to go to flaps 2. All right, here we go. Nashville traffic, American 1984 on the RNAV for 2 center, coming around for the initial fix. Looking for the airport. Go flaps full. Spoilers armed. Feel like I'm gonna be high, folks, for some reason.
$2,500.
All right, looking for the airport. It's going to be probably right over that.
$2,500. 2,000.
Boy, they tricked me. I thought there, folks. I still think it's there. But no, it's up here. Boy, they got me tricked. I got the runway. Because that looks just like the terminal there. That's why I was thrown off. Nashville traffic, American 1994 final 2 center. And I think I'm going to go ahead and call us stable. Only sucky thing is no pappies.
$500. $400.
Got a lot of high tension lines in
Under the
X-plane here. Minimums, we are stable landing.
300.
Be curious if that's
Minimum.
in real life like that. I didn't see them on the chart. But
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. Drive.
oh, I hit so hard it kept the inner marker going. Alright, we're clearing up here at 06, I think it is. Sierra 5, I think that's what we were shooting for, folks. Alright, let's see. Port. Oh, nope, I'm off one. Oh well. Alright, so Nashville traffic, American 1994 off 2 center, Sierra 5 to gate Charlie 8. Okay, just getting some things turned off here. Okay, I think my ground spoilers are still armed. Hold up here, do a quick check, APU master on. Flaps open. Okay, turn it on. Let's cross the runway. All right. And Nashville traffic. American 1984 is clear of all runways. And outside the movement control area. All right, there's C8. Right. All right, we are in the blocks, folks. The brake temperatures are looking good. All right, anti-ice, if any's on, is off. Lead on. All right, and elapsed time. All right, so we were hour and 58 flight time, 2 hours, 2 hours, 4 minutes from pushback, and that's good. Clear. Okay. Well, folks, welcome into Nashville, Guitar Land. And let's get those chocks in. All right, and they are beginning to do their turnaround. Folks, we made it in here to Nashville. Pretty good flight overall. It's the little bitty bus. Yes, it is. We took the short bus today. More fitting for the way I fly. Music City, guitar, however you want to call it, folks. Welcome in, welcome in. All right, let's take a look here. While they're doing their thing, everything's opened up, right? Yep, okay. Come back up here. Let's bring Sim Toolkit back up. And today's flight, 64 feet a minute. That did not feel like 64 feet. Something tells me there was a bounce. 118. I'm getting a little more warm and fuzzy from the airline I'm flying with. Let's see here. Hang on a second. And dashboard. All right, do I got to say anything to him? Because I think there was a bounce. How is there a livery problem? Whatever. It got recorded. That's all that matters. Yeah, they got us down at 100 and... Where'd it go? 120 feet a minute, we'll call it. 118, there it is. Pending review. All right, well, whatever. Made some points here, connected to the network, engine, safe landing, flight length, and starting point. Hey, not bad. All right, so, oh, I got a notice up here. Why wasn't that there before? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, sometimes this is the kind of things, folks, if you want to join a virtual American, you've got to understand. They are very, very strict. I mean, they're way out there for flight simmers. But you don't have to join if you don't want. But if you are interested in that kind of flying, folks, here's a link. If I could spell it right. Hang on, let me try again. And just, folks, if you're using me to come over there, I'm going to tell you flat out, understand, you're flying for an airline. Read the rules. Don't expect a video. Don't expect a Flying with Mike YouTube video to tell you about this. Read the rules. Know what you're getting into before you sign up. Because, folks, they are very strict on the livery you fly, let alone everything else. So, I'm putting it out there just so you know. I don't like doing that, but I know some people from Flying with Mike have come over, and it is going to be a little upsetting, folks. They are very realistic in the way they want to operate, and that is their choice. They're more than, welcome to America, folks. They can do that. I enjoy it. You may not. Be forewarned. Enough of the bad, enough of that. Oh wait, Sim Toolkit. Oh, and don't play, well, we're here for fun. Okay, go find another airline. It's what I'd tell you if it was my airline. So, but it's not. Well, I'm just a part of it. So that's the rules. That's how I'll fly. Not sure what the livery issue was with my airplane, but I'm sure there is. So, to each their own. So, we can see how we flew this. You can see the nice little turn there. Let's finish the flight. And let's get into what we did. Here we go. So there it is at the top. I don't think I have this aircraft in here is why it's doing this. All right, so there. And then there's the details. Now, 118 feet is also what Sim Toolkit said. Where did I see 64? I don't get it. Anyway, full landing report will tell it all, folks. Not bad. Wow, that's really looking good, folks. Oh, there's where we see it. Oh, the speed is what. Okay, so we landed at 64 feet a minute. I'm thinking there might have been a little, didn't fully lift the strut off the runway, then we came back down. It felt harder than that. But anyway, folks, we'll take it. 64 feet a minute at 118 knots. Our V ref, let me see if I can possibly, no, I'm not going to be able to. Hang on a second. Do it this way. Okay. Takeoff 128. So we're really close, folks. You figure 123. So some toolkit.
Nashville, American 171 on. Let's runway 02 center, Nashville.
All right. So. Okay, getting back into it. So you get the metrics here, basically. So, and then you get it nicely shown to you looking straight down where you touch down at, which, folks, right now looks really good. All right, so there's your threshold for those not familiar with what the runway markings mean. That's where you're supposed to land going forward. Each mark on here, think of it if you're a golfer. You have trees and bushes that line the fairway that help the caddies and those very familiar with the courses know how far away from the hole they are. Well, same thing here. They tell you how far down the runway you've been, and if you start seeing them on the other end and you're still moving at a very good speed, you might want to think about hitting the binders and slowing down really quick. But they're every 500 feet, so 500, 1,000, so forth down till you get to the last set, which is also the end of what they quote call the landing zone. So that's where they aim to land. Aircraft do not tell the pilot what they landed at feet per minute. Last I checked, they do not do that. The passengers tell them. So if I woke up downwind Sim back there, he's going to smack me upside the head with a give smack saying, "Hey, what are you doing up there?" So that's what they're going to shoot for, is the landing zone. Actually, in real life, most, because I did it when I flew, we aimed for right here. Not to say we hit it, as you can see. Look at where all the black marks are, folks. That's where the rubber hit the road. Haha, how about that? And you can see, well on down the runway. It's kind of scary, folks. That or they're really skidding. But you can get the gist. The thicker the rubber is where the general heavy touchdown is. So they usually do not hit. So, just a quick showing there that we did pretty good. There's where we wanted to land. We're a little past it, slightly to the right by 2 feet. So, all is good so far. All right, so let's get the jetway. Let's first start cleaning up. We'll do it this way. Ground services, close. 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 Oh, wait. Okay. I meant to close these, folks. Sorry. Like, what did I do? Okay, let's get in here and see, did they all close up? All right, we'll get the chocks. And the jetway away. Yesterday we tried this, folks, and it reset on us, so hopefully today we can do this. Let me disconnect from VATSIM. Anything that can track you folks, like a ACAR system or VATSIM, disconnect before you try this. Otherwise it'll do it for you, or if you're on your ACAR system, it could really screw it up and really could get disqualified from whatever airline you're flying with. Alright, so now X-Plane does have a replay mode built into it. As soon as I get rid of Sim Toolkit. Okay, this is built in, folks. This is not an add-on that you got to go find and stick into plugins and all of that. It comes out of the box with it. With X-Plane 12 still going through some changes and all, it sometimes crashes to desktop like it did yesterday. And today looks pretty good. We're going to go from the turn. So let's, and you don't have to set the plane up. It's going to do whatever it needs to do to get you in. See, you can't even tell your engine settings. Okay. And then we just fly right in and we can accelerate. Must fussers, you have to fuss with it a little. You have to have a program. You have to start it. All of that good stuff before. So let's see what we did. And the neat thing is, folks, you can take screenshots right now. Hang on. Pause. Look at that. I want to find out if that's in real life like that. All right. That was true. It is kind of got a slope here at the beginning. Okay. Right there. Let me back up. Right here is where we aim visually for our landings. I'm sorry, that's not 64 feet a minute. Hey, we'll take it if it's going to tell us that. Yeah, that's a nice welcome home. Still, I mean, overall, wasn't bad. But 64 feet a minute, I have a hard time with I mean, overall, not bad landing at all. All right, let's see how the passengers enjoyed it. Yeah, that was kind of a thud. I'm kind of shocked that's all they gave me, that I was able to get away with that good of a landing. Let's check the other side out. And there's the good old welcome to Nashville thud. All right, folks, well, we're going to go ahead and call it a day here. Been a fun run into Nashville, Tennessee. Hope you all enjoyed as well. Tomorrow, I'm back at work. Let's go to here. And working 24 hours, then off Friday, Saturday. Now, we do have a flight planned for Friday. You can check out the schedule down below on Twitch. For those of you not on Twitch, head over to our Discord channel. Discord can be found here. Nice invite for you. We'd love to meet you, greet you, learn about, where you're from and who you are. So, folks, as we come off the runway, I want to say thank you for flying with Mike. It's been a pleasure. And remember our verse of the day. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forevermore. That's folks Psalm 121 verses 7 and 8. For now, folks, we're going to go ahead and leave you. Hope you have a great day. God bless you all. I'm going to put this at the gate real quick. And get things coming back out to it. Hope you all have a great rest of your Hump Day Wednesday, and we hope to see you on Friday. God bless you all. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you Friday. By the way, heads up, it's in the Citation 10. See you Friday. Bye now.